Welcome to the Faster, Easier, Better show. This podcast is short, fun, and jam-packed with good ideas that you can start using right away.
Welcome to another episode. I'm your co-host, Ellen, along with my co-host,
Johnny Winter. I know he was actually a really good musician, Jonathan Winter. But,
yeah, he was.
I'm thinking we're gonna do the season, so I'm trying to. What would winter sound like if it was a voice? It certainly would be deep and mean.
Deep.
Yes.
True.
But when you think of the year and in terms of seasons, it shrinks it. Okay. Well, I've got summer and, where I have a break, and then you maybe look at, the holidays. I mean, basically it breaks it down into little chunks, and it also makes you realize, like, I don't have as much time as I think I do. So if I want to do all these things, I need to start placing them in seasons, the big stuff. Like I want to do this big thing, and I want to travel on and do this with the family, and it starts to shape up. But unless you're thinking in terms of seasons, you'll make an overwhelming list that will be impossible to do. And so that's one thing. And then the other thing I think that ties in is during the seasons, maybe you hibernate in the winter because of where you live, and in the summer you're out and about more, and the days are longer. Fine, work with that. Don't fight that. Work with the seasons, your moods, the times when kids are out of school, when clients need you, maybe you're a tax preparer. You know what season you're going to be really busy, and what season you maybe have some time to get around. But in the end, it just makes it seem more realistic in what we want to get done. And by putting them into different parts of the year, we can plan for them. We can, get supplies. We can do whatever we need to get ready. And then finally, in the beginning of the year, if we could just sit down and think, how much time do I waste? And if I was better at, like, maybe using a show I'm streaming, maybe it's 45 minutes per episode, as a reward, that would be better. Because, I mean, basically what we're looking for is, to do more and watch less. Streaming, television, online activity, it eats up so much time. And by the end of the year, so each season, evaluate at the end of the first season, how am I doing on that? And since I've taken up most of this episode, I will turn it over to Ellen for her thoughts and comments.
I'm just saying, I went out for coffee.
I'm old man Winter. You don't mess with me.
Apparently, you just take it all. When you think about it, the year, breaking it down into seasons, we got 365 days, 4 seasons. So you're looking at about, 91 days for each season. And except this year, because this year's leap year, if you didn't know that already.
It falls into my category of winter, so I knew.
So, you figure 90 days roughly to run with a season. And if you look at 90 days of doing something for 90 days, in this 90-day period, I'm going to take care of this. Whether you accomplish the whole thing or you just move it forward, 90 days is so much more accessible than 365 days. It's a little mind tweak, but if you could go, in the next 90 days, so that's, your 3 months, I'm going to, maybe I'm going to increase the time I work out, or I'm going to increase the weights I lift, or I'm going to, be meditating this much, or I'm going to be doing XYZ, whatever it is that floats your boat and makes your world better. If you look at it in 90-day increments, it feels much lighter. Unlike winter, which can feel
heavy.
Great. Well, I mean, think about it. People, right now, super cold across most of the country, but then it's going to be super hot. So, when you were talking about that maybe you rest in the winter, maybe winter is the time you get all the stuff done because you're in, and, summer, when it's nice out, you're like, I can't focus on being productive and efficient, but I've already moved the needle already in the winter and spring. And so I have decided that the summer is when those are the 90 days I get to just slow down. So everybody's seasons are going to be different. And like you said, whatever works for you is the important thing. And now I have taken a big chunk of the episode.
Well, I cast
talk
thee
together.
as Mother Nature. That's your role, because you just have a very effervescent, just flowery, summery, springy type of thing. I'll take winter and I'll take fall.
Okay. Yeah,
But you can
I'm
have the
sure
other
you-
two seasons. But
I'm sure you just-
overall, it's like you said, look at the year as a total, as a whole, break it up into small pies, the little pieces of the pie, and put the things that you need to get done in the right part of the pie or the right time, right season of the year. It's a huge eye opener, because like I said, you realize I don't have as much time as I thought, but I know when and where, not where, but when I need to do certain things, and it just helps you to prepare.
Perfect. I think that's great. What, old man Winter, you have one last thing before
No, that
we
was
leave?
some cold air wind.
Oh, okay. Look at your seasons, but look at your weeks, and be back with us next week for another episode.